Hi, everyone.
Why are you looking all crazy, bro?
Because I'm Grace. Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. And today, like every single day except Saturdays, we're coming at you live from our studio. We have a great show for you guys today.
Yay!
Super excited. We have some news to talk about. We have some Binance news. We have some Voyager news. We have a new person is running for president. One of our favorite politicians. We'll talk about that. Also, a new pizza fry. Rocco has the alpha on that. Right, Rocco? Yeah, he doesn't even know what the hell we're talking about. Exactly, Rocco. Exactly. If you're in studio, you would know why we're laughing, but we can't tell you why we're laughing. So I guess if you want to know why we're laughing, you have to come visit us in the studio. And then we have some news on Sam Bankman-Fried. Who has he been lobbying for recently? We also have Dan from the Chart Guys joining us to go over your favorite altcoins. So if you have anything you would like TA on, make sure to put that in the chat, and we will pick a couple from the chat. But first, before we pick anything from anywhere, I'd like you to pick on your other co-host, Robin.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, welcome to the club. We're an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take old, boring, and stale information and repackage it up in a fun and sexy way.
Speaking of picking, looks like you picked that big zit on the side of your face.
Oh, you know, it's growing, it's showing.
Okay.
How you doing? I'm glad.
Growing out of show, right?
Yeah. Glad to see you camouflage right into that wall. Stale ass green shirt. All right. So
Olive green. Idiot. Anyways,
I think it's
audio,
more like
okay
you ever put like you know the pea baby food? If you like take the lid off and just leave it on the counter, that's what it looks like.
Wow.
Oxidized.
Thanks. Or it just looks like an olive. But hey, either way, olive or baby food, we're here to give you guys the alpha on food. Speaking of food,
What you got?
Rocco.
Yeah.
Are you excited about this? When I say pizza fries,
Okay.
after I show you this, I want to know your take. Do you think Americans are just ruining Italian cuisine? Let me know.
No, I gotta explain.
Oh, we got crinkle cut fries, and we're just pouring some pizza on it. So, Rocco,
Like liquid pizza? What is it called?
it identifies as a pizza. So, Rocco, first and foremost, you know pizza was born in the beautiful country of Italy. What are your thoughts on pizza fries? Are you bullish or bearish?
This one should be banned.
Banned. Okay, what's worse, this or barbecue chicken pizza?
This one is the Sam Bankman-Fried of the pizzas. It's the Terra Luna pizza
The
right
Terra Luna pizza, huh?
there. Jeez. I can watch this stuff in the
Andy
morning.
said that looks delicious.
No, Andy, no, please.
Andy, yeah. Rocco's not very happy with you, Andy.
Don't do that to me, please, Andy.
The problem with pizza, so the thing with pizza is that you always have a handle, right? You always got the crust, you got the bottom of it that you can hold the bottom of it like a plate. And so here, there's no way to attack the fries or the dish without silverware. Kind of defeats the purpose of a pizza, right?
Right. I know people who eat pizza with a fork and a knife.
That's
Not saying I agree with it, but
if I ate pizza with a fork and knife in Italy, Rocco, would I be shamed?
No.
No?
No.
you're
It
asking
depends
the
on
guy who eats a frappuccino with a spoon.
It is true. Yes.
Only the whipped cream with the spoon. Anyway, so the pizza depends. If you're on the street, you go to a bakery and they do have a pizza by slice. You just grab it with a piece of towel and you eat it like that. But if you're in a restaurant, and depends on the kind of pizza they serve, because there are different styles: Roman, Napolitan. Some you eat with your hands. Some you just
Neapolitan? Is it like strawberry chocolate?
You haven't seen a
vanilla?
Neapolitan pizza? It's with a big
Pizza
round
Napolitan
mozzarella cheese.
with a crust.
Ooh, Dixie Flatline said use tater tots instead of fries.
Yeah, next thing is gonna use Doritos, please.
Yeah, Doritos. So every president serves 4 years, and every new 4 years, we have new people running for president. And we have someone who just threw their ring in the hat, their hat in the ring. And it's none other than our favorite.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. None other than our favorite.
No.
Senator Elizabeth Warren.
No,
the great state of Massachusetts.
No.
Let's hear what she has to say.
Backstop them. It's very, very important that we in Congress put a stop to that. We've got to tighten back down on these banking regulations. And you're right, Lawrence, this is a part of why I'm running for president. Because I truly do believe that we need a government that isn't just there to work for the rich and the powerful, for those who are well connected, for those who can hire an army of lobbyists to come to Washington and get rules in their favor, that we need a government on the side of the people. And I just want to say, anybody who thinks that's a good idea, I hope they'll pitch in $10 to elizabethwarren.com. And
are you pitching in? Are you pitching in, David?
I'm pitching out.
Yeah.
She would be destroyed by no one likes her except her state, apparently. She would get ruined, and she wouldn't even win her primary, her Democratic primary. She wouldn't, let alone if she ever is a Democratic nominee, she would get destroyed by probably a bag of peanuts on the other side.
I want to pitch the $10 just to see it. $10 is less than a
for
movie
some
ticket.
reason, this would be the worst catastrophe this country has ever seen, is this lady running for president. So yeah. Also,
just a disclaimer, she's not actually running. She misspoke apparently.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Oh, you sure?
I don't know.
Well, one person who doesn't misspeak a lot is Elon Musk, and apparently he was part of a Japanese game show in 2014. So let's see what Mr. Musk was up to.
Okay, great. Okay.
I love Japanese game shows, man.
He's so confused. Like, what?
Can we go on a Japanese game show?
Yeah. Yeah, let me go ahead and put that email in real quick. Also, we had this video, rest his soul, Robin Williams, joking about banks in 08, 15 years later. Seems like nothing has changed. This is from Wall Street Memes on Twitter. Well, let's see what Mr. Williams had to say.
Like a group of junkies who relapsed going, listen, man, I just need some liquidity, you know what I'm saying? I just ran into some bad subprime, you know? We just had complex formulas. We just didn't factor in greed and panic, you know? I just need $805 billion by Tuesday. Yeah, no, seriously. No, I would not screw you again. It's pretty crazy. I learned my lesson. No, baby, this is not like the other time. Seriously, I just throw me a bad here, baby. Help me out. Just give me a little bit. Yeah, just a taste. That's all I need is a taste. I need $2.5 trillion. I'll pay you back. Get me through 1 week. Yeah, it's like they're going to print out a new $20 bill. The new Geithner $20 bill will be, you know, instead of "In God We Trust," it'll just say "Trust me." There's a little man from Monopoly going like that. Like a group of...
Man, I miss Robin Williams, man.
Yeah, it was funny.
What a good dude.
Yeah,
dude.
All right. Well,
you know what, man? He passed away. The world got just a little less funny, man.
yeah, he was, man, brings back memories. You know, I wish I had that sheep video to play alongside this. And then we also have another video regarding banks. And this is the quote, oversight, end quote, of U.S. banks just 5 months ago. 5 months ago.
The gentleman from Indiana, Mr. Hollingsworth, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Well, good afternoon. I'm excited to be here with each of you. Before I get started on my questions, Mr. Moynihan, I wanted to let you know, Saruthi, raise your hand, Saruthi. She has been my team member for a couple of years now, but on Monday, she becomes a Bank of America team member, about which she is very, very excited. So I hope you'll take good care of her and know and recognize the talent that she has shown already in our office. I'm sure she'll do the same at Bank of America.
You will do that, and your father already works for us, so he'll take care of it.
You should have called us.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to chat about some of these issues today. What I'm really interested in is the state of the economy.
Yeah.
How are you floating your resume to big banks? I mean, you're supposed to.
Hold on. You got to watch that, though.
Oh.
Keep watching.
Oh.
Keep watching. It keeps going. It gets better.
resume to big banks. I mean, you're supposed to be the ones, policing the big banks. I mean,
Grow up, Jamie.
there must be some kind of law against working for a financial institution right after you've been working in financial regulation, right?
No. No. Hey! Doggy!
Hey! Come over here! What are you doing at Caesars?
He's a Goldman.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Her father already works for us, so he'll take care of it.
You should have called us.
Yeah. It's and they had a hearing today. I think it's actually still going.
That's some crooked ass shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop that, man. Right? They're over here giggling. My assistant's got a job with you. You're on the oversight committee, and your assistant. You're super excited that your assistant you worked with for years is going to go work with
the people you're supposed
to be regulating, and then they joke and be like, "Well, her dad already works here." Like, and then we wonder why the system's broke, right?
Like I said, ongoing now, I believe you have the FDIC president, I think William Barr. I think he's a board of governors on the Fed, and someone else. They're testifying in front of the Senate Banking Committee, and all they did was answer questions about why didn't you stress test Silicon Valley Bank, and we're gonna tighten regulations. And
remember, regulators said that, or I don't know what board. I don't know if it was an oversight committee or I don't know. Somebody.
There's a lot of committees.
Gave the stamp of approval to SVB. What was it, like 1 month before they went under? Right? Was it something like that?
That was
weeks
Moody's.
Yeah,
so the credit rating agency. But they kept saying that SVB didn't fit the criteria for them to do a stress test on.
Oh,
that was their argument.
They fit the criteria for a multi-billion-dollar bailout, though.
Yeah,
that criteria was filled, though, right?
It's not a bailout, Robin. It's a loan, right?
Oh, yes.
We had a super chat.
A loan, yeah.
Yeah, a loan. Get it right, man.
Yeah.
We had a super chat from Kazuma. What did it say? It said, "This is all because of Sam Bankman-Fried. Binance took their lollipop. Now they're after Binance and won't stop until everyone loses their wealth." I don't know. What do you do? Do you agree with that? You think this is, they're just mad that Binance blew up FTX's spot and ruined everything they had plans for, and now they're going after Binance?
No, they're just, okay, this is what's going on. It all ties together. U.S. does not want crypto to threaten the system that is in place now. The system's getting stressed. People are concerned about the legitimacy of the banks. The efficiency of the banks obviously is not even that efficient at all. And there is a solution. There's a remedy to that. And it's starting to threaten the hegemony that the U.S. economy has. And they're trying to take out the competition. That's all it is, right? Obama did Choke Point 1, Choke Point 1.0 or whatever it is. Operation Choke Point.
Choke Point, yeah.
Where they were trying to...
Well, that was headed by the FDIC chair, which is the same FDIC chair that's there now.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. So you had that on top of it, and then you have the likes of Signature Bank getting closed, which some people argue was their own mishandling of funds. Some people say it was them handling crypto funds simply. And then...
That was the takeover, bro.
Yeah.
That was a takeover.
And then you have think about it. So you had that, right? You had the closure of the banks. You had the lawsuit against KuCoin, and where they're not even accepting ACH bank transfers anymore. Also, they had the lawsuit with KuCoin on, what was it? Was it KuCoin or Kraken? Which one was it? That was Kraken.
The lawsuit?
Yeah, the lawsuit was Kraken.
Staking?
Yeah.
That was Kraken.
Yeah, then Kraken. And then you have the lawsuit with Coinbase. You have the lawsuits, multiple lawsuits and investigations into Binance, the BUSD delisting. I mean, who is safe, right? Give me one company, one crypto project
that's safe.
Yeah. That the U.S. has not attacked in the last.
Oh, I know.
In the last, say 8 months.
Litecoin.
Litecoin.
EOS.
No, Proof of work, man. They're not a fan of proof of work either. And so they're attacking proof of work. They're attacking proof of stake. They're attacking Ripple, lawsuits left and right, celebrities. It's an obvious attack on crypto, right?
100%.
I mean, it is what it is. And we had this executive order. What was it? A little over a year ago now. Executive order. Hey, let's embrace this emerging technology. Let's get behind it. Nope. Far from that, man.
Psych.
Nope. It's actually the opposite. What they're trying to do is trying to get the people that are interested in crypto to say, look, we got an executive order. We're trying to be progressive. We're trying to build. But in actuality, they're trying to stomp out. They're trying to stifle. They're trying to regulate through enforcement. And they're just trying to slow down the transition that is inevitable and it's coming. It's setting our industry back, man. It pisses me off because I live here, man.
Oh, don't worry. When the G7 meet next month, it's going to get even better.
Piss me off.
Yeah. You know what else is going to piss you off is this article. Speaking of banks, crypto banking rules could be modified if market reacts, says the Basel Committee chair. This is from CoinDesk.com. International standards intended to limit banks' crypto holdings could be revised depending on the market reaction, the chair of an influential committee of standard setters said on Tuesday. New capital rules requiring banks to treat unbacked crypto assets like Bitcoin as the riskiest kind of asset should be in effect by January of 2025. The Basel Committee finalized its rules in December despite protests from traditional finance firms who complained that plans to cap banks' crypto holdings could limit innovation in distributed ledger technology, also known as DLT.
What is happening?
Hold up. Wait a minute. The rules were about indirectly trying to eliminate the potential risks that crypto markets might pose to other markets, said Hernandez de Cos. There might be potential spillover effects from crypto to banking. It's been the opposite.
The risk in the market is your own banking system, fractionalized reserve, taking user assets, customer assets, and putting them God knows where into treasury bonds, into corporate debt. And then when all else fails, you get bailed out. And that's supposed to be the standard model, right? And then you got something that's fully backed. You got certain projects that are fully backed, certain exchanges that are fully backed, certain banks that are fully backed. Keep one-to-one assets or pretty damn close to it. At least far better than what we have now. And those get dismissed as too risky. And hey, trust us. Trust our banking system.
It is so ass backwards.
And you know what, man? We're coming to a point. We are coming to a point. There is a crossroads coming, man. Crypto was built off of the failures of 2008 and the realization that this whole damn thing's a fraud. And it's going to collapse. And you know what? That has been built. It is here. We are here now. And so that has been built. At the same time, more leverage in the traditional system, more leverage in this crap legacy market, more fraud, more bailouts, and that thing's going to come crashing down at one point. I don't know when. I mean, you agree that at some point it's going to unravel, right?
100%.
At some point, you need to reset. You can't print enough money. I mean, theoretically, you can try, and try they will, but at some point, either the people are going to revolt, or the system is going to collapse. It's one or the other.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, no. Like you look at Nigeria, you look at and Argentina when the inflation gets just way too out of control, the citizens burn the whole place down.
They need an outlet.
Yeah,
right. You need an outlet. What's that outlet?
What do you think? I mean, we saw what happened with the Trump supporters. I mean, they were passionate, right? You saw what happened with them. Now, just imagine if every citizen in the U.S. loses, like, say we get hit with like 60, 70% inflation. I'm just saying hypothetically. I'm not saying it's not likely, but I'm just saying that it's on the table, right? I mean, we were talking about the BRICS and whatever coming off the gold standard, lots of other extraordinary factors, banking things to go down. Maybe you get a perfect storm. Multiple things happen at one time. Could find ourselves in a situation 60 to 80% inflation. And what do you think? You think the citizens are going to stand by, especially if you're looking at 60-80% inflation, and all of a sudden you want to print more money, or you want to change something fundamental? What do you think is going to happen? People are going to stand up and burn down the cities, man.
That's why they try to keep us divided, so we don't come together. I think Eric Ward brings up a good point. The U.S. has been winning with military power and the power of the dollar. Now the dollar is being challenged. They are throwing stuff at a wall, waiting to see what sticks. It's like if you know the old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. If you really view crypto as the enemy of the US dollar and your dominance in the world, wouldn't you want to keep that innovation like closer so you can have some sort of sway? I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but I'm putting myself in the shoes of the US government. If you think cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is going to challenge or overthrow the dominance of the US dollar in the USA on a global level, wouldn't you like kind of want some sway into the innovation and where this thing is going? And maybe through the maybe as the space grows and matures, there's a way to, I don't know, have the market help the US dollar dominance. I don't know what that looks like, but it just doesn't make sense. If anything, you're speeding up the process of the US dollar and the US, dominance starting to go down. So that's just my my 2 cents.
Then we do got a couple of new people in the chat. If you're new here, say hello. So we can jump in hola back at you. We got Juan Luis Alamont, DRS. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Juan Luis Alamont.
And we also got Miguel Costa says, Rob, come to Portugal. I do have dual citizenship with Portugal, so maybe I haven't been there in 10 years. I don't know why. Maybe about time I go visit my motherland, Portugal.
We have our guest joining us in 5 minutes. While we're on the topic of banking, I would like to talk about this. This is from CNBC. Okay, Bitcoin is poised to blow up Africa's $86 billion banking system. So a couple things I've highlighted here. Do I have anything highlighted here? But this parallel financial system can also serve a tangible social good, offering an on-ramp to the financial system for people who would otherwise be left out. In countries where the vast majority of the population is unbanked, national currencies are no longer a safe store of value, remittances comprise a hefty portion of GDP, and international sanctions complicate connections to the global economy. A virtual currency that doesn't require an intermediary to approve transactions can be a vital lifeline for survival. Could be a vital lifeline for survival. Moving money in Africa is expensive and complicated process. Commercial bank branch access is limited, especially for people living in remote and rural areas. Digital banking options are also limited. Tack on rampant hyperinflation, widespread government corruption, and capital controls trapping domestic cash. Money can stop making sense altogether. Roughly 80% of cross-border payments originating from African banks are processed offshore, mostly in the US or Europe. That translates to higher costs and processing times that are sometimes measured in weeks. This is from CNBC, okay? This is not from Cointelegraph, from Robin's favorite crypto potato or crypto carne asada. But this is from CNBC. I mean, do you disagree with anything in this article so far?
Not at all, man. Hey, let me tell you, man. Africa. First of all, everyone's everyone's competing for
influence in Africa.
Yes, especially when it comes to finance.
China's leading the way.
Africa is the fastest growing population in the world.
And they're the youngest population in the world as well.
Yeah, the youngest population in the world. They went from 1.2 billion to 1.8 just in the matter of like 10, 20 years. So they're exploding. And we saw what happened when a nation state has an exponential growth in the population where they just have a lot of kids. No, you look no farther than China. Obviously, their population has slowed down. We're expecting their economy to slow down. Same thing with the U.S. We had the big baby boomers back in what was the baby boomers? Was that
after World War II?
Was it the 60s, 70s? 60s?
I believe 55 through
so
80?
all of that those are people are retiring as well. And so just looking historically, we would expect India and then also Africa to be some of the leading nations as far as economic productivity, because if you're the ones building all the industrial products, you see it at the stores. It says made in China,
1946 to 1964.
Soon we're going to be seeing made in Africa. Right?
Hey man,
and then you got China too, man. I'm telling you. So you got Bitcoin over there,
China,
and then you got China. China's trying to launch the digital yuan in other countries. They're trading. China and Russia were like, hey, we're gonna start trading the digital yuan. Or we're gonna start trading. They didn't say digital, but they're gonna start trading the yuan, which eventually will roll into the digital version in Africa and Latin America. And we're gonna provide banking services for people that don't have it. It kind of, you know what I mean? Because the U.S. is so outdated. Like, imagine trying to open up a banking account as an African citizen through the U.S. channels and the SWIFT system and all. There's no way, man. No way. It's already like here in the States. This is where the banking center is. You know what I mean? This is where it started. And for me, I got to go down to the bank and we got to make an appointment. I got to go there. I got to bring like 2 forms of ID, and I got to have my
at least
tax
at the end you get a lollipop. You know the lollipops
they do give free lollipops there. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Everton Azul. Said, just found you guys. I really like your show. Great job. Keep it up. Thank you, my friend. We really like you too. And welcome to our community. All right. We have our guests ready. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Dan the man from the chart guys. Dan, how you doing, my friend?
What's up?
I'm good. Glad to be back. How are you doing?
We gotta get
I think he's muted. I think he got you muted.
Is it good? You heard it. We didn't hear it.
Okay. I think.
All right, Dan. Yeah. While we're working on your, while we're gonna fixing your audio, my friend, we're gonna pull up CoinMarketCap, and then we're gonna get some TA from you, my friend. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at CoinMarketCap real quick. Which, by the way, guys, remember, if you want any TA from Dan, please drop it in the comments, and we will go ahead and if we like it or if we feel like you're deserving of getting picked, then we'll pick your coin and we'll have Dan do some TA for us. So. We got Bitcoin coming in at $26,866. I am going to be curious to get Dan's take on the price action of Bitcoin, what we should expect in the short term. You know what? Let's actually stop there, Dan. Let's stop there. Bitcoin. Let's just jump right in, bro. Bitcoin 26.8. It was almost at 30K. Came back down. What are the charts saying for Bitcoin? What are some immediate and intermediate levels we should be looking out for? And if you don't mind, I'm a big flag pattern guy. And on the daily on Bitcoin, I saw a bullish pennant. And so what are your thoughts about that? And then just share your overall thoughts on what the charts are saying.
Sure thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right, cool. So Bitcoin, we'll look at the chart right here. We've got daily consolidation clearly underway. We hit the lowest price that we've seen in the last week or so. And at this point, there's no significant follow through for the bears right now. So there's no red flags. And we're definitely aware, all right, we're in consolidation mode. There's potential. This could get ugly if we see, significant downside. But at this point in time, no major red flags. The NASDAQ right now, after being really strong, and essentially the way that I'm viewing the market is essentially since the banking fiasco started. So 2 weeks ago, we saw a lot of capital shifting around. We saw a lot of money leaving the financial sector. It was leaving low cap stocks. It was leaving the energy sector, and it was going into Bitcoin, gold, and tech names. And so all of those names are now seeing some consolidation. So we got the Bitcoin pullback. We got gold starting its daily consolidation, just a tightening sideways range. We've got the NASDAQ. Again, all bull initially, but starting some pullback. Again, no major red flags at this point. So we're just seeing some healthy consolidation after that money all poured in following the banking fiasco. What would be a red flag for me would be multiple red days in a row. Essentially going back here, back in early March, we had increasing bear volume and a bunch of big red candles in a row. If that were to happen, that would be a big red flag for the bulls. But at this point, the consolidation has been fairly healthy. There's really no major red flags. And as you mentioned, is this a potential bullish pennant? If I zoom out to the 2-day time frame where every candle is 2 days of price action, and I put up my fib retracement, which helps me gauge whether something's a bull flag or not, this is still a possible bull flag with the consolidation that we're seeing. So again, bigger picture, no major red flags with the current consolidation.
Okay. Now, if it is a bull flag and it does break to the upside, which it normally does, what are some levels of resistance that we can expect to see?
Sure. So the last level that I was looking at was previous support, now resistance, back here, June of 2021. This is now the weekly time frame that I'm on. But you can see the price had this zone here where we were just bouncing around and holding support. And we dropped down to 30,000, 28.8, and then 29.3. So we held it 3 times and then saw some further bullish upside. And now it's acting as resistance. So you can see we just topped out at 28.9. So it's essentially previous support, now acting as resistance. If we clear that level, let's just say, if we break the current high of 28.9, certainly the bulls want to break 30,000 to have some follow through from there. I'm then looking at this previous support zone. We've got 32.9 as a next level. And then we've got another little level here at 32.4. So essentially 32.4, 32.9 will be the levels that we look to if we get another leg up from here. But bigger picture, the broader market right now, the stock market, I use it a lot with my trading just because, there's so much more money that is in play in the stock market. And we're uneasy with the stock market right now. There's a tug of war going on because, again, the money is swirling around so significantly, leaving these sectors, going into these sectors. Overall, is that going to remain healthy for the broader market? That remains to be seen. But I'm going to be watching for clues from the broader market to apply to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And again, we're going to anticipate a weekly high or low is the most likely result of the current consolidation. It's just a question of how much consolidation do we see before we find a new support level and then shift that supply and demand so that demand starts exceeding supply again to head back up.
Right. We did see Bitcoin and crypto as kind of a whole, maybe decouple a little bit from the traditional market. A lot of people say, and I don't know if you're in line with the sentiment, that the stock market bottom is not in, that we have maybe another 20 to 30% to go. Do you share that same sentiment with the majority of people?
I'm going to the S&P 500 chart now, but I am very open to 2 different scenarios. And those 2 different scenarios are, this is the monthly time frame. So the monthly is a potential inverse head and shoulders, where if we topped out, well, we did top out. Now we're trying for a higher low. If we can form a monthly higher low compared to the fear bottom and confirm the first monthly uptrend that we've seen since the bear market started, we're then going to be, if that happens, it's an uptrend on the monthly, the weekly, and the daily time frame. You can't get any better than that, and that would be a bullish scenario. The other scenario, obviously, would be, as you mentioned, seeing another leg down and breaking the fear lows. What's very notable for me is the narrative was there, and maybe it's not done. Maybe this banking situation has further unraveling to do, but that's the narrative that the bears should be able to excel with. They should be able to see fear and significant weakness in response to the situation. But again, what I was surprised to see to a certain degree is what big tech did. Apple saw a significant influx of capital over the last couple of weeks, and Microsoft saw a significant influx. So the money was going into these tech names, and that's keeping the broader stock market healthy overall. If we start to weaken in these tech names and see, daily downtrends and a lot of money leaving the tech sector, then we have to be concerned about heading back towards the S&P 500's fear low. But for now, again, one thing for me as a technical analyst, it doesn't go very far as social media where, we're headed to 1 million in 30 days or 90 days, or we're headed to 12,000 in 6 months. I don't get the sensational headlines, but for me as a trader, my skill set is not being attached to a direction and being very malleable. I will pivot and I will react to the new information as I get it. And I'm honestly at a point right now in the market, it's pretty much reflecting the price action of the market, which is uncertainty. I don't know the direction which we are heading. I'm not going to pretend to myself that I do know, because I don't. And so by admitting that, I can then be, as I mentioned, very agile with how I move around. And so, a week ago, I had a bull lean, and now I'm shifting to a little bit of a bear lean. And I'm just taking it one day at a time. And I will, if you told me that we're going to be at all-time highs in 6 months, I say, all right, I can see that being a possibility. I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but we can also chop around sideways for a long time for the rest of the year. That's another possibility as well, which would lead to a boring market, but it's definitely on the table.
Dan, I've asked you this question before, but that was a few months ago, and we have a lot of new listeners in. What's your baseline case for saying, all right, this is not a bear market rally, this is an actual bull market? Are there certain levels you need to see crossed? Is it volume? Is it RSI? What indicators are you looking at? And also, before we go to the charts, I want to ask the chat. Do you guys still think? Do you guys think this is a bear market rally and we're in the midst of a bull market? Put a 1 for bear market rally. Put a 2 for a bull market. And Dan, I'm curious to get your take.
Yeah, so that, as I mentioned, if we confirm that monthly uptrend, that's a huge win for the bulls for me. As far as whether the rotation, the inter-market rotation. And again, referring to stocks, this goes with crypto as well. You see the ideal healthy Bitcoin or crypto sector is when you get Bitcoin leading to the way up, and then you get rotation out of Bitcoin. Bitcoin will trade sideways for a bit, and then the altcoins will get their leg up, and that's just profits rotating around the same sector. And the broader market does that as well, where the tech sector will get a big move up, and then while it sees healthy consolidation, the financial sector will then see some upside. And that's the trademark of a healthy market. The trademark of a bear market is money leaving everything at once. So one thing that I watch for is, are all of our major sectors hitting the low of the day at the same time? And that's, the NASDAQ, the financial sector, the healthcare sector. And as we speak, that's happening right now. And that's showing me a little bit of money leaving the market and a little bit of fear. So with regards to applying that to the crypto sector, right now the altcoins are really weak. And pulling up my list here, we got some green out there today, but overall it's, we know the altcoins have been a lot weaker than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got the spotlight of the narrative that we've had since the banking fiasco has started. And that's great. As you mentioned, decoupling. And if you're a Bitcoin bull, you want as much decoupling as possible. You want a narrative to drive interest and capital inflow into Bitcoin. But I have a little bit of a harder time trusting this rally because it is only Bitcoin and because the altcoins look so much weaker in comparison. To have true market confidence, it's when the money is flowing around and the profits are going from this coin to this coin, and now it's this coin's turn to rally. So, it could be the narrative taking over, and maybe Bitcoin dominance just keeps control for the next couple of months. I'm open to that being a possibility, but I am a bit cautious because it's not like the bull markets we've seen in the prior 5 years or so.
So, right. Do you think that we're maybe lining up to get more spillover into the alts? Maybe it's a longer delay. I know in the run up of the bull market before, we had more of a quicker turnaround where, hey, Bitcoin rallied, and then a week or 2 weeks later it poured into altcoins. If you get sustained price movement where Bitcoin gets into 30,000, for example, and sits there for a month, would you expect that to spill over? And if so, is it Ethereum and then the other ones afterwards? I mean, I don't know. What are you kind of eyeballing for price movement in alts before you have the conviction to get in and out?
Yeah, that would make sense. As you mentioned, if we get another leg up, and if we can hang out in that range for a while and trade sideways and establish a base of support, then I would be looking towards the larger names like Ethereum. I mean, Ripple's been getting some attention due to this court case. I haven't been following the details of the court case at all, but I look at the relative strength and see, XRP is one of the coins that is standing out for that reason. Again, it's a narrative-driven market right now where there's been plenty of markets that are technically driven. And so for me, that means it's almost a double whammy. We have the bank situation as a bull narrative for Bitcoin, and now we have as you've been talking about, the the SEC going after these companies and the CFTC going after Binance. And that's almost like a bearish narrative for the altcoins. And, are these altcoins going to be delisted from some of these major exchanges? And so it's almost like a double whammy of narrative that is leading to this current Bitcoin dominance that we've been seeing. But to answer your question, if we're going to see money trickle back into alts, the best case scenario is another leg up for Bitcoin to 30,000, hang out, build a sideways support, have the financial sector fear eliminated to a certain degree. I would think that the crypto sector as a whole would benefit from the fear being alleviated from the stock market. The more that happens, the more you see people willing to take on higher risk and put their money in these smaller cap names or smaller cap sectors. And so that would be just build confidence in whatever way you can of establishing supports, holding gains, and alleviating that fear. And time helps to alleviate fear as well. If you're trading sideways and time's going by, that fear can diminish.
I think you're right on the money there, man.
Yeah.
Especially if you're new in the space and you're not sure what to expect and this is your first bear market, you get worried. But as time goes, you're like, all right, well, it made it out of this, and then it made it out of FTX, and it made it out, and so you kind of you're building
looking in the past. There's always time. There's always a time to get into the alts. And it's kind of this as you mentioned, it's kind of this euphoric kind of money sloshing around. So yeah, and it doesn't feel like that right now. I definitely wouldn't YOLO into any alts. If I did, it would only be some very top projects. But
speaking of YOLO and alts, people have been YOLOing into XRP. You brought that up, Dan. We saw XRP late last week rally about 25%. When I was looking at the chart, I wasn't seeing any volume, and now we're back to 50 cents. So can we take a look at XRP chart? Of course, there's chatter about the court case ending this week, this month, the next few weeks. So what are we seeing? Is this a real rally? Is there volume behind it? What are some levels to look out for? And what's your best bullish case scenario if XRP does win the court case?
Yeah, I mean, this move is for real for me just because we had our 1 day big pump and we gave back a lot of that. And that would have been the time to say, all right, pump and dump, we're done. But to then trade sideways and establish a little base of support and then get your move up to continuation, that definitely proves that this move is for real. And again, when you're comparing XRP to other altcoins out there, there's not many that are in the same league right now as far as over the last 2 weeks of trading. And I always look at the BTC pairing. So XRP BTC is showing us that, XRP has been stronger than Bitcoin over the last, we'll call it a week and a couple days of trading. And there's a level here that I am watching, because if we get over this level, we can then say XRP is the strongest it's been comparative to Bitcoin in the last 2 months. And so that would then be notable as well. And you compare it to, so many other altcoins out there, ADA BTC, it's just way weaker, OP BTC. All these charts are in long, prolonged downtrends, APT BTC. So we've just been weakening compared to Bitcoin for so long in all these names, but XRP is just standing out in a big way because it has been strengthening over the last week. So the next key levels that I'm watching for on XRP after this 50 cent level, we got 51 back here from November, and then these levels of 549 and 559. Again, if we clear those levels, we can then say we are at the highest prices that we've seen in 10 months. And Bitcoin can say that over the last couple of weeks. Not many other coins can say that. So again, it would essentially put itself in a winner's circle. And, if you list the top 5 strongest coins right now in cryptocurrency, XRP is definitely in the conversation. Now, could that change if we get information out of the court case? Yes, absolutely. As I mentioned, I'm not following this court case at all. I'm just watching the relative strength and just setting, if you're trading XRP, you're setting stop losses to avoid, if there's bad news out of left field and we dump 30% in a day, you obviously want to be stopping out in that instance. But the bulls are excited because they're standing out significantly comparative to altcoins.
Then if you have somebody that is just dead set on getting in XRP because they're just sure-minded that they're going to win this case, let's just say like, hey man, this guy's going to buy it. Somebody's going to buy it, right? Is there a certain entry level at this point that you would look for? Or if you have that conviction, is 50 cents, is that a good spot? Or are you looking for it to pull back to 44? I think that's where it was trading sideways. Or what would you say to somebody that's looking to accumulate in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I always like to enter on consolidation. We've had markets in the past where if you buy, 2017, if you buy a bull break, we follow through. Bitcoin's new all-time high, we get 10% more very quickly. But we haven't been in that kind of market environment in a long time, and buying bull breaks generally more often than not is not the best risk reward. So I always prefer to enter on consolidation, and this is the 4-hour time frame right now, and we've just been setting, again, ever since we topped out, we bottomed out, and now we've just been setting these 4-hour higher lows every period of consolidation, and it's also been aligning. This little red line here is the 4-hour EMA 12 support. So we just bounced off it again there, and one thing that often happens in the strongest uptrends is 15-minute oversold RSI, which is when the RSI dips down to 30. 15-minute oversold RSI aligns with 4-hour higher lows. And so that you can see, we bounced from 15-minute oversold back on March 25th, and then we did it again March 26th. And so I'd be keeping an eye out. If I want to wait for consolidation, wait for some of the shorter term timeframes to get oversold, and then look for that to be an entry for a longer term higher low. And there was a period there where Bitcoin was bouncing off 15-minute oversold conditions. I think it was like 6 times in a row before it finally topped out. And again, that's showing us that there's capital on the sidelines that is trying to get in, and they're using short-term oversold conditions to do so.
Can we look at Tether? I'm kidding. Well, I'm kidding. The Tether chart looks pretty interesting. Okay, all seriousness. Cardano. You brought Cardano up. You kind of showed that as an example. A lot of people are frustrated. ADA moves slow. We've seen big rallies from other alts. ADA hasn't really seen it. Are there any patterns that are showing up that can tell us, hey, there's a rally coming?
And this is something that I want to get more exposure to. And I've been telling myself that during this bear market, I'm going to start accumulating alts at the right time. Maybe it's not the best time. Obviously, can't time the bottom. But yeah, what are the Cardano charts looking at? I'm a big fan. I want some more. I want some more ADA in my portfolio. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet this year. So.
Yeah, that's a common theme. I don't know much about, again, I don't do fundamentals much, but I do know there's a lot of people that really like the fundamentals of Cardano, but the price just has not been showing it for so long. So for me, if I'm looking for an entry, this is a must hold level. This is the weekly time frame right now. This 297 level has to hold because we have to, the definition of an uptrend is the higher lows and higher highs. If we were to lose that level, we're just looking back at the fear low. And that would be a major red flag. So we can say that if this chart is going to progress from here into a longer term bounce and a longer term uptrend, this 297 level has to hold. So the way, as a trader, the way that I structure my trades is, I make a simple statement. If this is going to be a longer term bottom, then 297 is not going to break. And so I use that level as a stop because I know if that level breaks, it's definitely a big red flag for what my thesis is. But again, as I mentioned with the BTC pairing charts, you can just watch and wait. Like, look at, this is the weekly time frame. We've rejected from this weekly EMA 12 resistance 1, 2, 3 times. We could bounce and see some follow through and reject again. So we could say, once we get over weekly EMA 12 on the BTC pairing, that would be a notable event that tells us maybe momentum shifting here a little bit. But until that happens, we're just going to stay weaker than Bitcoin. And so that obviously means your money is better off in Bitcoin than Cardano. But right now, with where we stand, this is the weakest Cardano has been comparative to Bitcoin since February 2021. So over a year now. And you just got to avoid, Litecoin did the same thing. Litecoin, BTC, not recently, but there was a multiple year period there where it was just slow bleed forever, where clearly you don't want your money in Litecoin. It's much better off in Bitcoin or other coins. And so you want to avoid jumping into ADA while that bleed is going on. And it certainly has been going on for the last year plus. So, and it was the same thing with XRP. I was on a different channel right when the XRP bottom was forming. And it was the same kind of slow grind down of relative weakness right here. So this period, you do not want your money in XRP here. Your money is way better off in Bitcoin. And then this spike right here was a volume spike and a price spike that told us, hey, things might be shifting a bit. And, you know, the narrative of Bitcoin and the banks definitely led to another leg down. But that was the moment where I started to get interested in XRP, because the character of the chart changed, right? This move here and this volume, we had not seen anything like that in months. So if you're looking for ADA to shift momentum, you want to see something similar. And, you know, if this daily uptrend confirms, that's the first step towards a little bit of relative strength being gained. So just keep an eye out. You don't have to be a technical analyst to look at this weekly chart and say it's a downtrend, and that has to shift. We have to see the first signs of a shift of the relationship between Cardano and Bitcoin if we're going to be looking to have Bitcoin or have Cardano gain against Bitcoin.
I love the fact that you're looking at the Bitcoin / whatever other project it is in relation to how that moves. We don't get enough of that.
Yeah.
Just to touch on that really quickly, as a full-time trader, you know, in crypto 2017, 2018, there was a great market for trading. I didn't look at that stuff at all. And then 2019 bear market, you know, back in the days, you only had limited coins. Now you got thousands of them. So trying to distinguish where should I be putting my capital, which coins are stronger and weaker, that has become a tool that has been essential for my trading. And I even brought it over to stocks. And I use it now all the time on stocks to find names that are, you know, show relative strength, and then they start to show relative weakness. And then I use that as, you know, a short signal or get more aggressive looking short because that is happening. So I would highly suggest it goes over the head of.
Just curious on your stocks, are you using index funds, or using like the DXY, or are you using more commodities? Like,
I'm using ETF. So if it's a individual banking name, it'll be compared to XLF, the ETF. Or if it's, you know, Tesla, I'll compare it to the NASDAQ, or Amazon to the NASDAQ. So trying to find, you know, an individual name and then compare it to where its grouping is.
Now, Dan, I want to ask you, as a day trader or swing trader or scalp trader, do you have any? And if you don't, you know, if you're not comfortable sharing these, you know, we can move on. But do you have any indicators or alerts you have set, like, hey, if price crosses under this, or a certain EMA or RSI, how do you keep track? Because there's so many tokens, there's so many stocks. How do you keep track? How do you find the ones that are good trade setups? If you don't mind sharing, I think this would bring great insight. You know, bear markets, obviously prices are suppressed, but there's still ways to make money in bear markets, and I think it would be very valuable for the community here.
Yeah, I mean, number one, it's just time. I mean, you can't look for the shortcuts. I'm up at 6 a.m. every single day, and I put in from 6 to 7:30, and then from 8:30 until market open at 9:30. So I put in like 2+ hours before the market even opens, and I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at, you know, dozens and dozens of charts. What's Netflix doing on the daily and hourly chart? What's Amazon, Apple? I look at I have a list, and I just go down my list of all the major sectors, all the major names. And I've gotten to the point with my trading where I know certain setups that I like. I can say, all right, you know, this name is most likely to form an hourly lower high next bounce, and it's in a daily downtrend. So I know that I'm going to be scouting Netflix for an hourly lower high next bounce. And then that's just something, I'll write it down, a piece of paper next to my computer. And a lot of people use alerts on their trading view to let them know when things are happening. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do it if it works for you. But honestly, I love pen and paper. And I just have on my screen, I'm watching, you know, 20, 25 different things at the same time. And it comes with a lot of practice. You know, I've been doing this routine now for years and years. We're talking thousands of days of using this routine. And you just get really comfortable with knowing these are the kinds of trades that I do well with. And then I just spend the morning scouting for those setups.
Awesome. Was there anything this morning that caught your eye? No, and it could be something you already put a trade in for. Just, you know, maybe some insight into how you look at the chart. If you did put a trade in this morning, or I don't know, one you put in last week. What was your thought process? Where did you look at first? Did you start higher time frames, work your way down, or the opposite? Like, just talk us through, you know, how it goes.
Sure thing. So this is the NASDAQ futures chart, and this is the FOMC day from last week where we had all that range. And then what we did is we just tightened up. We set a lower high, higher low, lower high. Yesterday, we held support just barely. So I know that we're knocking on the door heading into today. We're knocking on the door of a support zone from the FOMC reaction. And I know it's going to be tested first thing. And if the NASDAQ bears can prove to me that they're going to take out those supports, I'm looking bearish because daily consolidation is due in the sense that, we've had a good run since the banking narrative, but, daily consolidation won't surprise us at all from here, especially after FOMC sideways trading. So I had a bear lean on the morning for that reason. And then, I didn't trade much this morning. We did a public live stream and I was patient. Honestly, my trading is way better after some initial morning action versus in the first 20 minutes are exciting. They're fast. There's woulda, coulda, shoulda because you get these big moves. But I love when the price action is, I have something to go off of from the trading day already. So I know I'm looking bearish. This is Netflix. Netflix had a big morning bull move. It failed to break the high of yesterday. And then on this pullback right here, this goes back to the relative weakness. So look at this 15-minute bounce. That's a bear flag bounce, declining volume, very weak. So at this point in time, this was 10:45 to 11:30 a.m. And I was comparing Netflix to the NASDAQ. So 10:45, what's the NASDAQ doing? It was doing this bounce. This is a much bigger bounce. You can see we almost made it, back to resistance here. And again, just comparing that to Netflix, it was a way weaker bounce. So I was recognizing that relative weakness. And so I just shorted Netflix. I put my stop over the high because if we were going to break that high at that point, that means I'm wrong. It's not a bear flag and I would want to stop out. And so we rolled over and it's been following through. And I took some profit before coming on live with you both at this point. I'm considering swinging a small position. My swing trades are always smaller than my day trades because there's a lot of unknowns that could happen as opposed to, having a running stop level that happens during intraday trading. But it was that was the setup. Number one, NASDAQ weakness first. Number two, relative weakness started to show itself on Netflix. And then really nice bear follow through from there. Also was expecting, I'm keeping an eye out for Netflix to form a weekly lower high because Netflix is a potential head and shoulders. So I got all this going on in my head. I know bigger picture. I'm scouting a weekly lower high. And all right, we've got some NASDAQ weakness on the morning. So maybe I can try for a position where if the bears do follow through, maybe I try and give this a shot at being the weekly lower high. At this point in time, we don't have, high conviction that that's the weekly lower high being set, but it's a possibility. And so I now have put myself in a position where I've taken enough profit from that position. I'm down to, at this point, I think I'm down to maybe a 40% position from what I initially entered, which means, my break even on this trade is up around the high of the day, if not above the high of the day. So I love getting risk free by exiting partial positions and then just letting it play out. And so I might do that and see if I can nail this weekly lower high. We'll see.
That's awesome, man.
I don't even trade, man. I'm not the trader guy, but man, that is just fascinating, man. You got a gift, my bro. I know you were kind of talking about some stocks there, which got me thinking. Earlier this week, with the Coinbase news coming out that they got the Wells notice, there was a push to buy up Coinbase stock. A lot of creators in our space were pushing this narrative out. Hey, let's show our support by buying Coinbase stock. And now I'm not at all by any means suggesting that anybody do this, but that was a growing narrative. So I was curious. I'm like, what is Coinbase, or I think the ticker is Coin? Yeah. What is the chart there looking like? I have no interest in buying up Coinbase. I just kind of look at the. I'm more of a crypto guy, so if I'm going to get exposure to crypto, I'm just going to go right to the source. But for those people that have been watching other channels, what is a Coinbase chart telling you?
Yeah, first off, don't ever try and support a company. This company doesn't care about you. Don't put your money in a company trying to support it. Anyways, we had a key resistance of 87.63, and the news came out right in time to reject. This is the weekly time frame. So we reject from resistance, and now we're heading back down towards support. We've been trading within this range for months. It's trying to put in a longer-term bottom, it's trying to essentially do what Bitcoin has already done. Bitcoin had this, weekly significant pullback, and then it finally shifted momentum into a more meaningful bounce. And Coin and these other names were close to shaping up the same thing. And then you could see this news. This is why I don't like swing trading so much, because we went from, the close one day and then the open the next day is 20% lower. And so that skips all your stop losses, because obviously there's no trading overnight. And so that is, a fear that I have. I want to know the risk of every single trade that I take. And if I'm day trading, I know that. I place my stop. If that level's hit, I'm going to stop out. But when you're overnight, that's not the case. If I was in this position and I had a stop loss at 75, well, the bell rings and my stop loss triggers at 60. And that is suddenly, 4 times the amount of risk I thought I was taking on for that trade. So that's the downside of swing trading. But in the end, if the bulls can hold 50, 77 here and just chop around for a while, then it's going to potentially be all right. But that requires Bitcoin remaining strong. If Bitcoin were to start weakening more significantly from here, then coin is going to quickly head down towards that key 50, 77 support. And, I understand the importance of Bitcoin, or of Coinbase, as far as having somewhere trustworthy enough to put our money in the US and, trying for outreach for acceptance and all that. But from a trading perspective, Coinbase is junk. And I am astounded I'm going to go on my rant. I am astounded at the lack of progress that this company has made with their platform since 2017. And I'm astounded that we don't have more competitors. I can remember 2017, 2018 just saying, I can't wait till competition comes, till we see fees lower because of this competition. I mean, I can't place a stop loss and a sell order at the same time on Coinbase. That's essential as a trader. It doesn't tell me what my average price is for my positions. That's very simple math. They're focusing on other things, and it's not for their platform to be most beneficial to traders. I can certainly say that much over this. I mean, there was a bug. I made a video on Twitter. There was a bug where for a week or so, if I place a stop loss order with my limit for where it's going to trigger well below the current price, there was a bug that would automatically instantly sell my position. And so that they were racking up fees from a bug that, they never address. Nobody ever gets that money back. It's just swept under the rug. And all right, we fixed it eventually. Okay, great. But, how many thousands of people were misleadingly stopped out because of your bug? And then you get those market sell fees because of that bug. And yeah, I don't like Coinbase at all.
Dan, I think you're right in that competition breeds excellence, right? If you got someone knocking on the door behind you, you're going to up your game. But I think to Coinbase's defense, well, not their defense, but to
it's a situation. Yeah.
I don't. You're saying we thought more exchanges were going to launch. I mean, would you, if you were an exchange and you had the choice between Hong Kong and the U.S. with everything the U.S. regulators are doing? I mean, where would you choose? And that's not to say that Coinbase can't make their platform better. But I think
they're not incentivized.
They're not incentivized, and they're probably having a hard time trying to navigate what coins to even list, if they can even do staking awards. But I agree, their fees are extremely high. I think for me, if I were to pick a centralized exchange, it would to swing trade on or to scalp trade on definitely wouldn't be Coinbase. But to buy and sell and hold for a very short amount of time until the money clears, so I can move it to my hardware wallet, I think Coinbase would be the one to go. But I definitely do agree with you. Look at what happened in the options world, right? I used to pay $10 to $15 per contract. And then Robinhood comes out and does it for free. And then Charles Schwab does it for free. And so that's what competition does.
Ain't nothing free though.
Right. Well, you pay somewhere. I get it. But you get my point.
It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. I was paying $8 a trade. Now I'm paying $0. And I'm saving 5 figures easy a year.
Yeah.
And the amounts that I've paid to Coinbase would make you throw up over the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's definitely some of the highest out there. But I'm not going to get into this Coinbase back and forth, but the last thing I'll leave it at is I'd rather them charge a little more money on their transaction fees and not rehypothecate people's money and get stuck in a situation like FTX did or Celsius did. But of course, it does need to get better. We're still early, and there is not one exchange that I can point to and say, wow, this is the perfect exchange, low fees, blah, blah, blah. So I think we're still a far ways away. Dan,
just one more note on that. From a full-time trader's perspective, it was FTX as far as the usability and the functions that they had. And so it's just it's just a shame that it turned out the way that it was, because they were easily the best for a serious trader, the best platform to trade on.
Fair enough. And you're not the first person to say that. And I think that is a lot of people, when Sam Bankman-Fried got arrested, they said that platform was really good. And that's why some people were open to the idea of restructuring and bringing the platform back with the technicalities and the foundation that it had built and the software. And so, that doesn't surprise me. Did you have something to say, Rob, before we... No. Dan, before we let you go, please let everyone watching know if they want more from Dan. I know you got a whole team of people over there at the Chart Guys. Where can they find more information? Whether it's, we have your YouTube channel linked in the description of this video, but outside of that, is there anywhere else they can find you and anything exciting going on in the world of the Chart Guys?
Yeah, we got just search Chart Guys on whatever platform. So we're on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. I put out a few crypto videos every week. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do a live stream where I'm going to talk about the importance of routines and habits to facilitate flow state as a trader. So a little bit of an abstract topic. But we're putting out content left and right, specifically on the YouTube channel. So come check it out.
Definitely go check it out. Go support the guests that join our show. The link to the Chart Guys YouTube video is in the description of this video. Please go throw them a sub, go watch their content. And I think what you're doing with the abstract content you're talking about is extremely important. I think for me personally, every trade that I've gotten wrong has had my emotion and my mental state has had something to do with it. Whether it's selling too early, getting in too early, not setting the correct stop losses. So I think that's important. And for you to be able to focus on that as part of what you do to show people and help people and educate people, I think is extremely important. So Dan, thank you so much again for coming on, my friend. We appreciate your time, and we definitely look forward to bringing you back on again soon.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
You
Thanks
too.
for joining us. Man,
I like
dude, his charting is amazing, bro.
Yeah, I like understanding people's process and thought process and how they go about identifying trades. You know, it might be what you're already doing, or you might find a little nugget in there that you might implement in your own trading style. But I think it's important to hear what people, you hear a bunch of different, people's styles and what they do and the indicators they use, and you create your own. Eventually, you'll be successful. All right, let's move on to.
Real quick, let me just give a quick shout out to the chat. If you're new here, say hello. So we can drop an all at you. And also, I want to know, why the hell have you not hit the like button? We have a horrendous like ratio, 100 likes. What are y'all doing? Come on, hit the like button. Do you like the show? Do you like the guests? Do you like Bitcoin hitting 35,000? Because if you hit the like button, you're gonna
go to a million.
You're gonna feed the like button energy into the markets of Bitcoin. There you go. So also we have let's see here. Eric JT, Fernneck K, and Eric Ning, Alex PC, V Slim, and Morton Matt. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Huh. I couldn't see the names you were trying to pronounce. That was a little interesting. Anyways, so the theme of today's show, which we haven't gotten to yet, which we're about to get to right now, is Binance being the target. So we have some updated news from Binance. So first, we have this news article from The Block. The CFTC's complaint against Binance seeks permanent trading and registration bans. I talked about this potential. I talked about it. Not saying Binance did anything wrong, but this is a real lawsuit, real allegations. What does it mean? As part of their suit, the CFTC wants injunctions that could effectively bar Binance and its affiliates, Binance.us, as well as Zhao and Lim, who are executives with Binance, from the U.S. commodities industry, as well as disgorgement of salaries, profits, and other benefits or earnings that were made. CFTC cites a number of private communications and company documents throughout the complaint to support its argument. The complaint filed by the CFTC is unexpected and disappointing as we have been working collaboratively with the CFTC for more than 2 years, said a Binance spokesperson. We have made significant investments over the past 2 years to ensure we do not have U.S. users active on our platform, including increasing compliance personnel from approximately 100 to 750 people today. The Justice Department here in the U.S. could decide to bring criminal charges against Binance. A person close to the CFTC investigation noted that Binance is also the subject of scrutiny by the DOJ. And then we have this. Voyager's $1 billion sale has officially been put on hold. Voyager Data's $1 billion sale to Binance in the U.S. has temporarily halted by a federal judge. And take a guess where this federal judge is, Robin.
New York.
That's right, sugar. New York is... Yeah. If you live in New York,
actually zero sugar.
If you put in New York, put a 1 in the chat because I want to know why you're still living in New York.
Let's go to Portugal.
Yeah. And so the federal judge granted the request for an emergency stay by the U.S. government. The request for emergency stay was granted by Judge Jennifer Reardon of the U.S. District Court in New York on the 27th of March, which was AKA yesterday. Meaning the potential deal between Voyager and Binance will now need to wait until at least a decision is made on the DOJ's appeal against the bankruptcy plan.
All right. What do you think the chances are Binance buys Voyager assets? You think it's 50-50? You think it's less? You think
this is terrible.
You think it's not going to happen?
Just
liquidate Voyager assets and distribute to.
But the people are going to get like a fraction of what.
But here's the thing: like I'm sorry. Okay, Binance had 300 accounts trading against their own customer.
Allegedly, that's what they're alleging.
They also have some deleted messages from CZ's phone. There's a lot. I'm just saying that. I think that the U.S. government is going after crypto exchanges, crypto projects, trying to stifle, but they're raising legitimate concerns. And I'm just saying, man, that at this point, I think for the users to get something back and not be pushed and pulled, and I feel like it's an ex-girlfriend that like ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend where the relationship's over, but that person just keeps dragging them back in and be like, well, why don't we go on another date or whatever.
I've changed, I promise.
Yeah, and then you're just like, you're leading the person on, you get them all excited again, and then you're like, no, actually, I'm going to move to Florida. Like, what? Like, at some point, man, like, stop pulling these poor people around, the holders of asset, the users of Voyager that have their assets locked up. Like, let's just cut it off, man. Let's just go to bankruptcy, litigation, liquidation, and get those funds back into the hands
of the people.
Yes.
CZ did put out a statement on the Binance.com blog, and it was. So he had another one that was very in-depth. This was sent to, I believe, people like Elizabeth Warren. But here's something interesting, and we tweeted this yesterday. Robin sent this to me, and he said he highlighted something, which I'm going to show you, to which I decided to say, hey, what if that means something? And it does mean something. It does. So in CZ's response, here, clearly, personally, I have 2 accounts at Binance, one for Binance Card, one for my own crypto holdings. I eat our own dog food. Now, Robin, I believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, initially you thought this was a troll by someone against CZ, correct?
Well,
what was your thinking when you first saw this?
When I first saw it, I was like, let me make sure the source is correct. And yeah, maybe it's a troll. Part of me was like, this probably is in reference to some kind of something I'm not familiar with. But I was like, I don't know. Anyways.
Well, familiarize yourself, because eating your own dog food is code. It means the practice of using one's own products or services.
Ask you something. You ever eat some dog food? I tried one of those like treat biscuits one time. These things is terrible, bro. The little milk bone ones. Bro, that shit was so dry.
So you sit here and lecture me on eating barbecue chicken pizza, and that is disgusting. And you fucking eat dog food.
I came home from school every day and had a milk bone. I'm just saying that, like, at one point, I'm giving my dog some dog food. I want to know, like, why is he so excited? Is this some
idiot?
You're
so dumb.
You're talking to the guy.
Nice try, but you ain't saving yourself from this one.
What?
So this was on purpose, right? I mean, right?
Eating dog food?
CZ is not stupid. He's very smart. There is no way that this just slipped in there, or he made a joke and say, I eat our own dog food, when it literally means the practice of using one's own products and services.
No, it means testing it out. Like, it's basically saying
this can be a way. Okay, let me give you the full context.
It'd be like you having a trampoline business and never using a trampoline.
I ate my own trampoline.
Look, man, this trampoline is safe. I done jumped on this thing 1,000 times.
Okay, but how long was he
eating
his own dog? He said, I eat my own dog. I eat our own dog food. Not I used to eat our own dog food.
Okay, well, here's the thing. In context, think of it this way. So what you're getting at is he's saying that, hey, I've been accused of having a bunch of fake accounts, but I eat our own dog food, which means say I try our own products, which probably means that he's out here using multiple accounts and actively trading.
Guys, I want you to like.
Okay, here's the thing that we're missing.
What are we missing?
We're not talking about. Okay, and I talked about this yesterday around the blockchain. FTX had God mode on trading, right? They couldn't get liquidated. And it was this, you throw your hands up, you're just like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, you know, there's so much fraud there. Didn't have a liquidation point, right? That's fraud, right? At its core, right? It's not okay, right?
No.
And it's disgusting, right? So
heinous.
If you have 300 accounts with billions of dollars of liquidity available to just dump on your own traders and liquidate people and manipulate prices, is that not equally as disgusting? Maybe it's not your own personal account that you're trading on and you've removed the liquidation point, but is it not even just as bad, if not worse, that you can move the price of a token to liquidate your holders that have leveraged positions?
I agree, man.
It's for me. I think it's beyond disgusting, bro. And I don't care. Everyone here can prop up CZ as this freaking superhero, but it's not okay, man. It's not okay to have 300 accounts and rob your own users by liquidating them, by manipulating the price, man. It's not okay. And I don't know why we're sitting here like US is terrible. Like, okay, I get it. They got an agenda for people. But you know what? There's some shit-ass practices going on out here, man.
100%.
And the fact that, like, we're not talking about it. Nobody's talking about the fact that he's dumping on his own people, man. It's not okay. 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 You cannot have accounts and trade against your own people.
Especially knowing their liquidation points.
It's fucking stupid, man. And the fact that nobody's talking about this. I watched all these YouTubers today, man. Before I got on nobody's talking about it, bro. Nobody's talking about how ugly that is. We want to be respected. We want regulation here in the States. We want to be taken seriously. Biggest exchange out here got 300 accounts shitting on people, bro. I just want to make it known that shit is not okay, man. And you know what? If you've got to put his feet to the fire and CFTC, and maybe it's all fake. I doubt it, though, man. I doubt it, but maybe it's all fake. Maybe it's just the U.S. going after Binance, making shit up. I don't think it is, though. I really don't think it is.
Yeah. But you know, I'm not defending the behavior. I'm not defending it. But there's a lot. I'm sure in the traditional markets, they do the same. And I know for a fact that CZ and Binance are not the only ones doing this. Like, that is a complete fact. And so I don't think anyone here has any issue with regulation and oversight on the central entities. When it comes to decentralized entities, DEXs, dApps, whatever the case may be, those things run on code, right? They're regulated by code. But when you have a central authority or a centralized exchange or a centralized market maker, those people need oversight and regulation, or else you're going to get what Sam Bankman-Fried was doing. You're going to get what CZ is potentially doing. So I think we need to draw the line. Decentralized, code can regulate. Centralized, you can come in and regulate. As long as the regulation doesn't stifle innovation. Because the last thing, when a family member or a friend comes to me and all they hear is the mainstream media reports and this report, hey, you got all these crypto exchanges, they're all shady, man. They're all trading against you. They all know your liquidation points. They all go under. How am I supposed to convince someone to come into our space if the barrier to entry is me having to explain to them, go get a hardware wallet, go write down this seed phrase, set up this wallet, move this money here? It's got to be easier. It's got to be more practical. And right now, to get the people in our space that don't know anything about crypto, we need the centralized players. And right now, they're out of line, and they need to be brought back in line. Gary's not the one to do it, though. I'll tell you that. While we're over here, while Robin's ranting, XRP is straight pimping, baby. So this is XRP just broke 50 cents. It's sitting at 52 cents right now. I want to show the weekly, and I want to throw the Ichimoku on here. So we have pierced the cloud. Will we get rejected? Possibly, but we are seeing some decent volume over the last two candles. This is again on the weekly. So we're seeing decent volume here. RSI is sitting right around 60, about 65. We'll call it 65. And so we might see a scenario where if we can stay in this cloud, we kind of trade sideways because this is our equilibrium zone, right? We don't put any trades, or that's what the Japanese say, the Ichimoku indicator says. We don't make any trades while we're in the cloud. What we do need to see, though, we need to see this cloud twist green, which it has not done it yet. But we did see a crossover of the conversion line above the baseline, which is a bullish crossover. So this is good. So the last thing we're waiting on is this cloud to twist green, which on the daily it has. Cloud has twisted green on the daily. You can see here. That's great. On the 3-day, let's take a look. It has twisted green again. We're just waiting for confirmation on the weekly for it to twist green. But XRP is looking good, man. Looking good, which leads me to the next article. President of Ripple, very hopeful. Waka, what are you doing?
I was looking at CZ jumping from the trampoline.
Okay. I keep seeing stuff in the background. So president of Ripple, very hopeful of a victory in SEC against XRP, estimates when decision will probably be available. So these things I've highlighted are direct quotes from the Ripple CEO, president, my apologies, of Ripple Labs, Monica Long. We believe it is extremely improbable that the SEC would prevail in the litigation, since in our opinion, the law and facts support our position. She goes on to say both Ripple and the SEC has submitted their request for summary judgment in connection with the SEC action. In light of this, the judge must now make a decision. We are hopeful that a successful settlement will be made there this year. So, and you know there's people out there who get the news before we do. So we can only speculate that this pump we're seeing, someone heard something. Somebody saw something, somebody heard something, somebody got told something. Which is the same as someone hearing something. But yeah.
I think what it is that people are expecting them to win. So now that the resolution is coming, it's like, crap, I don't have enough XRP, or I got no XRP, or whatever it is. I think that people are looking for an entry point, and they're like, you know what? Lawsuit's about to end. I better get it now before it's out of my price range. Real quick, we got some gifted memberships.
We got a trio going on here. We got a threesome over here.
All right, so we got Jimmy dropping 10 gifted. We got Redman dropping 10 gifted, and then Brokey Yoshi dropping 10 gifted.
Apparently, he's not broke. That's my favorite name still on YouTube. Broke Yoshi no dinero.
Yeah. So big shout out to you guys. Round of applause, Rocco. And to all the new members. Hola! Also got Miss Teen Crypto in here.
What's up, Miss Teen Crypto?
I see you over here trying
Why
to
you
sneak.
so quiet, girl?
Yeah, you're trying to sneak up in here and watch this show without telling us, you know?
That's right.
We put you on blast. You docs, girl. So real quick, if you're new here, say hello so that way we can jump in a whole lot back at you. We have Grid 414 JC Low Simon D Gee Gaming, also Conrad Sec 1Z Nature's Home. Simon Says, and then we got World Nima Alex, not to be confused with Jimmy, and Razul Fahala. Hola! Welcome to Sin City.
Also, Simon Says that they own 10,000 XRP. Let's go. Hopefully you got it pretty good price. Either way, you won't lose until you sell it, unless you sell it.
That's right.
So
it's also difficult to buy XRP. That's what
it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Imagine when it is easier to buy XRP, what the price is going to do. This is going to be great.
Now, and
now,
also Dyna Mike. He's from Texas. He says hello.
We got a Scandinavian in the house, Modemaster from Denmark. If you don't know, I was from Sweden. So jag kan prata svenska lite. So we haven't talked about
gusto at the end.
I did. Hey man, we're a diverse culture, bro. So, you know, I've been having some withdrawals lately. It's not from medicine. It's not from cigarettes. It's from Sam Bankman-Fried. We haven't talked about him in a while, bro.
Can we get some Sam Bankman-Fried emojis? If you got a Sam Bankman-Fried, if you're a member, you just got gifted memberships.
We got an
put that new emoji in there, the Sam Bankman-Fried emojis. I want to see that.
When did you add this?
Them luscious locks up.
When
in
did
that
you
hair.
add this?
What's that?
The Sam emoji.
It's been up there
Has
for
it?
months.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. Well, guys, I got I started searching for. I'm like, I need some info. What is Sam doing? Is he playing League of Legends? Is he on the gold tier yet? What's going on? So first thing I came across was this picture. Apparently, he got a new hairdo.
No way. No way.
Oh man.
No, it's not him.
So this is from Hawks. On God, prison ain't busting for real. And then we found this. Sam just can't help himself. And of course, this happened, a couple years ago, but still, Sam has been indicted for bribing China to unfreeze Alameda funds. New superseding indictment has been filed against Sam Bankman-Fried. The indictment adds a new conspiracy charge related to a bribery scheme. Bribery scheme.
Bribery? Is that like a blueberry?
It's a new clothing line.
Like a blueberry, but plus library.
Blue
that got sued by
library.
the SEC and
Says the guy who can't speak correctly. So this indictment adds a new conspiracy charge related to bribery scheme that allegedly saw Sam direct more than $40 million in crypto to Chinese officials. This man was like an octopus. He had his hand here, this tentacle here, this government, this politician, this regulator, Gary Gensler, China, the Ukraine, wherever else he had money. The indictment alleges that in 2021, Sam handed over at least 40 million United States dollars to Chinese officials in return for their help in unfreezing Alameda Research's trading accounts. These accounts on 2 Chinese exchanges contain approximately $1 billion in crypto. So, the case just keeps adding on, and the dude just keeps sitting at his parents' basement, using Signal, playing League of Legends, and possibly still trading. What are your thoughts on this one, Robin?
I don't know. I don't give much thought to this fool, bro.
What do you mean?
Well, what did he used a VPN? He VPN.
That's right.
He got called out by what was it the judge?
Who hasn't he been called out by?
He got called out by the judge
Kevin
for
O'Leary
using a
hasn't called him
VPN to live stream the Super Bowl. Like, come on, man! You don't need you can get it on. It's like live on. It's live on.
I forgot about that.
On Yahoo. You can literally buy a $10 antenna and plug it into your TV and watch it for free. Like I don't like why. He's allowed to watch TV. You don't need to VPN it, man.
Cable is expensive, Robin. Jesus. What would you do if you just had $300 billion pulled away from
free
you?
broadcast.
You couldn't afford TV? Anyway.
Have you seen this? Look at this.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
This madness.
What is that?
I don't even know what it is. I saw this last night.
What
man.
the hell is that?
Like, this is where we're at. Look at this. And, hold on.
What is this? What the fuck is this? All right, here's my
This is in the United States.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Here's my serious question.
Is it in the United States?
No, it doesn't look like.
Where
It's
is
different.
Yeah.
Or is this,
It looks Europe.
is it France?
It looks like either France or.
Like, how do y'all have so much time on your hands you can spend a whole day doing this? I know it took you a long time to put the makeup on. I know it took you a while to get ready. I'm like, I don't have time to you know, I'm not
You're
gonna
jealous.
do a lot of things. These people have all the time on their hands in the world to do what they're doing. How?
Hold on. It says we're just playing random videos.
Oh, great. You can tell Robin's been holding on to this one for a while. Go ahead, Robin.
Well, I love my kitty cat, so you know, I got a cat. You know what?
Hold on. Before you play the video, if you had to pick cat or bird, who do you pick?
Oh, bird all day, man.
Big Larry?
My boy Larry.
What about Larry or the dog?
Larry all day, bro.
What about Larry or your wife?
And Larry over you, bro. I'm just saying. I
Larry
would
over
co-host
Rocco
this whole
too?
damn show with Larry.
Of course.
I'll just teach him how to say Bitcoin and be like, "What you think, Bitcoin?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's right."
And he changed his name to Michael instead of Larry. Anyways,
You know what my cat's name is?
yeah, Gato.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyways, what are you gonna show us?
Yeah, so
Is that Vitalik?
yeah, so he's the guard. Make sure that you're scanning your train ticket.
The cat is?
Yeah. Make sure you scan. You're like, okay. Hey, you didn't scan.
That's funny.
That's funny.
But he can't chase after him. What's the point? He's left with like a scratch?
Yeah, you know.
And then cops can identify you when they pull you over. They're like, pull up your shirt.
It's just
and you're going to see the cat mark
bro.
right here.
Just
By
a
the way,
warning,
boy
bro.
got guns.
Warning.
I have no muscles anyways. We're done, man.
Is
We're
it?
done. Yeah.
Oh, I got one more.
Okay.
This one's not a video though, but just,
Can't wait.
here's the U.S. trying to cut crypto out, but lo and behold, you got bricks cutting the whole damn branch.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, man. I am, all jokes aside, dude, I am legitimately worried about the U.S. economy and what it's going to look like if people keep moving away from the dollar on the global level, man. It's scary to think about, dude. I'm being dead serious. I'm not even kidding anymore. I'm being dead serious. I've always had a lot of cash in my savings just because my dad always taught me you want to have money set aside for something that happens. And I am honestly sitting there, and I'm meeting up with one of my really good friends today because, you know, he's smarter than I am. And I'm like, yo, I need to make sure I got a passport, and I need to make sure, do I buy some like Chinese yuan and hold on to it? Do I buy
Hold on.
Hold on. Do I buy some gold? Do I buy some silver? Do I buy some palladium?
Where are you right now?
Do I
Are
dump
you in
everything
our
into
state?
Bitcoin?
Did you literally say that?
Should we buy some Chinese yuan?
Get out of here, bro.
If I do, it'll be the digital yuan because, you know, I got to keep up with the cool kids. Guys, we're done. Go check out all of our social medias. Go watch the videos that we put up if you haven't watched it yet. We have a new video coming out very, very soon.
We had a super chat. Did you give a shout out to that?
The Kazuma was the only one, right?
No,
we have another one. Oh, yeah, we had another one. Yeah, like here. I know where it is.
It was Burke that did a...
GF Burke. Caspa has only been on a bull run. I'd read on it. Caspa. Okay. I promise you that I will at least search it on CoinMarketCap, and if it's intriguing, I will continue to do some research on it. So thank you for that. Also, thank you to our guests today, Dan from the Chart Guys. Guys, go support our guests. These guys never ask for anything in return. They always come on our show. They bring great insight. So go show them some support. All you got to do is click subscribe, help them out. Great content on there. You want to have as many valuable and pertinent people giving you information, and you take that and do with it as you please. Also, don't be cheap. Go buy some merchandise. Go follow us on all our social media websites and places. Also,
big shout out to Sam Bank, Chadwick Dunn, and Robert Hansman. Hola!
Hola. And also, if you want to support the channel, there's plenty ways. That'll be in the description of this video as well. With that being said,
you want to support this channel? What other YouTube channel you're going to go watch after this?
What do you do?
Drop that Molahs in there.
Yeah, without the H.
No H up in there.
No H up in there. Just H up in here.
I'm gonna go audit the other channels today.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go watch.
Okay, calm down.
And I ain't gonna say nothing until I see an Ola.
Sound like the IRS. So are you one of the 87,000 agents they hired?
You say Ola, and I'm gonna be lurking. And as soon as you say Ola, I'm gonna pop up and I'm gonna echo that.
All right.
Well, okay, cool. We know. Anyways,
they get against layer of the internet.
No, he's one of the 87,000 IRS agents they hired over here auditing everyone. Rocco.
There we go. Here it goes.
Guys, thank you for joining us for another amazing show. We got another amazing show for you tomorrow. So don't miss out. Make sure you subscribe, ping the notification bell. And on behalf of myself, Robin Rocco, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Beep, 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 beep.